Hey guys, before the video starts, just want to say that this is a rambly one. This is a off-the-cuff, rambly, non-scripted video, so if you don't like that sort of thing, I don't know why you're on my channel. But yeah, this is just me spitting out a lot of thoughts about this new thing that I found, so you have been warned, and enjoy. Hello everybody, I'm TechReal, and I'm going to take a couple of minutes here to just do a quick little overlook of this photo that I found recently, of this little show called Blue's Clues and You. Yes, this is something that I found surface on the internet recently, or maybe it's been here a while and I just only noticed it now. But, yeah, look at this. We have the whole cast and crew. Well, I can't really say the whole cast and crew because there's no Joshua De La Cruz, you know, the host. I don't see him anywhere. Unless he's green screened into the background, and I'm like, maybe he's over in Periwinkle's house, over in that back window, but I don't know, maybe he skidooed into the barn, I don't know, but overall, we have a good handful of the crew, including Joe, which is why, but we'll get to that in a second. We have, who I think is Steve, I'm pretty sure it's Steve. We have, I want to get this name right, okay. Angela Santamero, that is her name. She is the creator of Blue's Clues. She is right to the left of Joe. And if I'm not mistaken, on the bottom left there is Tracy Page Johnson, aka the voice of Blue. Yes, Blue herself. So, we have a very interesting picture here. You see the cast and you're like, whoa, this is cool. So, that's all there is to talk about, right? Yeah, this video is only a minute 24 long and that's it. That's all there is. But, no, there's actually quite a bit to talk about because, you know, we finally get a really good look at the actual set and the actual, you know, the effects and the, you know, all the designs of the show. So that's something that we can look into a bit more. So starting out with the carpet, because I'm not gonna lie, the carpet is very loud, it's very textured, and it's very strange. I like it. But it's very attention grabby right now. Like, I can't stop looking at it. It's so it looks real. I'll give them props for that. It looks amazingly real. And I keep thinking that it's actually on the set and that they're actually standing on a carpet. But if you look at the shoes of everybody, it doesn't really mesh with the carpet like you think it should. So I think it's still a green screen effect, which is it's impressive. I'll give them that. Of all the things, it looks the most real thing in this photo, really. It looks more real than Joe. But on top of that, we also have side table drawer, and you know there's also the wooden thing on the right, and you can see it has wood texture. But I'm gonna talk about side table drawer for a second because she looks strange. I like it. But she looks strange. I'm used to seeing her smooth. That's the problem. I'm used to seeing her, like, made of paper or made of clay or whatever they made her with, like, in the original show. But she looks very wooden right now. And, like, seeing the wood texture on her face is a bit of a weird alteration. It's a weird change. It makes sense. So, I'm being nitpicky, of course, as usual. And if I really want to be nitpicky, I can talk about Joe's shoes. His non-matching shoelaces. God, those piss me off and also make me happy. Like, I love him and hate him at the same time, and I don't know how to deal with them. But we'll talk about that more in a second. First I want to talk about the shading. If you guys will notice, if I'm correct, I remember the show looking a lot more flat than it does right now. Like, the background, the items, everything looks very real. Like, the frames, I feel like I could pick them up. Like, the curtain looks like something that, like, I can feel. Like, even side table drawer, like, I can imagine, like just, like, the feeling of the table, and, like, everything looks very realistic, but, like, also cartoony, of course. But, like, as opposed to the original Blue's Clues set, this looks like an actual place I could be, and not, like, a green screen. Which is, again, very impressive. Like, the effects on the show are already, like, astounding me greatly. So, enough praising the digital artist. Not that they don't deserve the praise, they do. But, let's move on to Joe. He's the center of this picture, and, you know, if you're like me, you look at that and you wonder, why is Joe here? Not that I'm mad. I mean, I'm one of the few who actually love Joe. Not as much as Steve, though. Steve is always going to be the better one. But Joe is amazing, too. But you gotta wonder, why is he here? And more importantly, he's dressed like Joe. Like, he's dressed like the original character, from the show. I don't know why I had to explain that. But he's dressed like Joe, but he's not. Because Joe had brown shoes, and you can see on his, purple shirt, because he did have a purple shirt, I believe, but it didn't have colors. You can see right on his chest there's, another, color or few, which I assume is colored squares. But I don't think he had that. He might have had pajamas that were kind of like that, but this was not his outfit. It's similar, but it's this is a recreation, which gets you thinking, because if Joe is here, and he's dressed like Joe, and he's dressed like an updated version of Joe, then I think it's safe to assume that he might be showing up in the reboot. Obviously not the host. We have the host, even though he's not here. But, the fact is, I think Joe is going to show up in episode 1 to sort of pass on the torch. And equally, I think since Steve is not dressed like Steve, I think that means he is not showing up. So, that's sad. But Joe, I mean, this sort of shows something that I was, worried about, and this, sort of puts that fear to rest, because I was worried that they were gonna start sort of from scratch. They were gonna pretend, this new host, Josh, was gonna be okay, he is just the new guy. He's not the new guy, he was the only guy. I thought they were gonna come into the show oh, this is Josh, he's always had blue. Steve who? Joe who? Who are those? I'm only Josh. I'm the only owner of blue. But now we can see, look, Joe's here, so they might actually bring that up. So it'll feel a little bit less like a reboot and more like sort of a continuation, which I think is good. And on top of that, if you look in the left felt frame, you'll notice a boy and his blue dog. A boy in his green striped shirt with his blue dog. So I think that's a clear shout out to Steve. So that's adorable, by the way. That is... I love the fact that they would just shout out Steve in this little, picture frame, the felt frame scenario. And also, I just want to mention that I think that I'm going into this picture assuming that the assets being used in the background are actually going to be used in an episode, because I honestly don't think they made them for this picture, because why would they? If that were the case, they'd probably also get rid of the blue cross marks in the background and try to fully green screen out what the guy on the left is sitting on. So I don't think they were aiming for a perfect picture that they're making assets for. So I think it's safe to assume that that's showing up in the show. Maybe first episode, probably. And along that vein of thought, we have, over on the right, the yellow picture frame. The iconic yellow picture frame with a picture of a barn and a chick in it. Now, that could just be random. But at the same time, no, it couldn't. Because if anyone's, seen the show at all, you'll notice that the yellow picture frame usually has a lot of things pertaining to the episode itself. So, when I see that, it reminds me a lot of the very first episode of Blue's Clues, where, if I remember correctly, Steve and Blue skidooed into that picture frame to a barn, and probably met a chick. So, I'm starting to think that either that is just a clever little call out to the first episode of the original series, or they might be mimicking the first episode of the original series as sort of this homage to it. To sort of be yeah, we're starting out just like you did, but in our own fashion. Which I think would be really cool. I think that'd be a nice little thing that they could do. So, that's my theory. A Blue's Clues theory. Yes, we're gonna retread that ground from the other episode. Roll the clip. At the end of the day, though, it's just a theory. A Blue's Clues theory. And I'm not Matt Pat. Ooh, that is cringe. Oh well, I'm a Blue's Clues geek. What are you gonna do? Nothing. Anyways. So yeah, that's about all I have to say on this photo. I think that it does tell a lot more than you would think, and I think if I were to tell my overall thoughts of this photo in general, I love it. I love how happy the entire cast looks, except for Steve. He looks a little malicious right now. I think he's trying to get back at Joe for replacing him. Not really, but, yeah, overall, if I just had to say what I think about the designs and, the textures and the background, the shading, honestly, as much as I have to nitpick, I love it all. Seeing this all coming together, seeing the set looking as good as it does, it's filling me with a lot of hope. Because originally when I heard about this reboot, I was a little bit nervous, honestly. The idea of them bringing back this old show and trying to sort of reinvent it and, have it be, with CG and stuff, it was a scary thought, because this is like a show from my childhood. This is something that's really important to me, and I thought they were going to ruin it. But, like, the more I've seen updates on it, the more that I keep hearing about it, and this picture, it just fills me with hope. It looks great. It looks amazing, and honestly, just after seeing this, I am more excited than ever to see this reboot. So, yeah, that's about all there is to say in the way of news today. So yeah, I will be looking out for more updates, and, as they come, I will probably be making more videos on them up until the release of the show, and of course, when the show does release, I will be putting out my thoughts and saying what I think about the new show, and the new host, and the new look. So, I'm excited to go on this little Blue's Clues reboot journey, and I hope you guys join me along, because I've been having a lot of fun making these videos, sort of getting to express this little obsession that I have over this show. And, yeah, it's been getting a lot of good reception, and I'm happy that you're enjoying this as much as I am. So, if you guys do want to see more news as it comes, I do happen to know that there's a website that you can go to. It's called angelasclues.com. It's made and written by the actual creator of the show, Angela Santamero, and she puts up a few Blue's Clues updates. So, if you want to go check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below to the latest Blue's Clues update, and then you can follow the site and watch along for more, as I will be doing. So yes, that is the end of this little rambly improv checking out a photo video. So, hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, glad to be making videos again this year, and there will be more content to come. Probably most of it ending up being Blue's Clues related. Don't judge me. Alright, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If I was a real fan, I would sing the So Long song, but, I don't need to add any more cringe than I already generally put out, so, no thank you.